please welcome to the stage Oliver Vogt, Strategy Director and Transformation Director of Tesco.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Oliver Vogt. I work for Tesco, and thought I'll give you a bit of an overview of what we do in Tesco, specifically in the online and fulfillment, final mile delivery journey. Now, Tesco is a big retailer, one of the top 10 retailers in the world. We operate out of mainly the UK, North Ireland, but also of Europe. And next to a classical retailer, we also are a wholesaler through Booker, but also have many other businesses, one of them being dunnhumby, a inside data consulting business, also powering our loyalty scheme, our club card, one of our key anchors to talk to our customers. But in the UK, our core is obviously a brick-and-mortar store, as we just mentioned, but we also, over time, developed a fairly sizable online business, over 6 billion sales. That's over 7 billion in euros a year, over 1.2 million orders every single week. These are large grocery orders being delivered or picked up by our customers. And we pretty much deliver everywhere in the country. 99.7% of all households are covered, so it's only the furthest reaches which we don't necessarily get to. And that's reflected in our market share as well. As you see, a few players in the UK over-index in online, and we're the leading player here next to many others. You can see it's quite an interesting market which keeps everyone on their toes. So if we think about the size of that business as a weekly shop, like large basket missing over 1 million orders every single week, it does take some time to build this. The first order was actually in 1984. A lady called Jane Snowball, through teletext, through the television, put the first order through, which was delivered to her home. So it's been a long time, but even the launch of Tesco.com, as we know it today, has been, 24 years ago in 2000. And over that time, we became an online provider which covers pretty much everywhere in the country, but that requires a strong network of stores and dedicated buildings in order to deliver to our customers every day. Now, very, very quickly, we got to 98% of coverage into the country by fulfilling out of our stores. At the beginning, there was about 300 stores, but soon after, we ran out of space, already of capacity in and around London, and we built, over time, 6 customer fulfillment centers, CFCs, dedicated buildings from which we fulfill particularly demand in London and in the southeast, because the existing store network at that time already was not necessarily having enough capacity to put this volume through to our customers every day. Now, soon we added more stores to it and got to 99.7% of all households. We started with delivery and delivered all our orders, and then, a few years back, got into click and collect, something we then ever since have been quite innovative in this space. But the UK, because of that, is very, very delivery heavy compared to other countries. We are well over 80% of delivery compared to a much smaller part than the collection, which means we are largely focused on how we best efficiently to deliver large grocery shops to our customer. We have got a delivery server program. This is a retention program where you can get anytime deliveries or midweek deliveries or collection, for that matter, as a loyalty program. Interesting enough, we've gone backless. So when you buy your groceries, they come in a tray. Previously, we gave our customers a choice because so many of our customers already didn't want to have plastic bags at that time. We choose to, eventually go backless and fulfill everything out of the tray, which is obviously environmentally the right thing to do. COVID happened, and everyone knows how that went. Our business doubled within 6 weeks in online. But eventually, we had to, then bring, not only capacity but also the next generation of efficiency into this. And I'll talk about the micro fulfillment sites in a little bit. The bit of automation we can attach to our stores. The latest proposition we have is called Whoosh. It's an immediacy delivery, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. Now, basically, you have to make two choices when you go on a journey to buy shopping with Tesco. It's either scheduled, which can be delivered or collected. We do this a few weeks out, but it is pretty much you can do it on the same day, you can do it for tomorrow, you can do it for 2-3 weeks out, or you have your delivery now. Tesco Whoosh, super fast, immediacy delivery. That covers, we believe, so many needs a customer might have, but the majority of our volume is obviously, the weekly shop coming to you delivered to home or collection. But every journey starts up front, and the single most important thing for our customers is to have everything in one place, right? You have one app. On that app, you can shop in store and get information of how you navigate the store, where do you find, you can create lists of what you're buying, but you can also make this choice of having a scheduled delivery or having immediacy delivery. Customers love the app. It's a great shopping experience. A single biggest topper on the charts of shopping apps in the UK, and is the beginning of this journey for all our shopping missions. We have a delivery saver model. I just mentioned this already. Very much liked, very interesting for both Tesco as well the customers alike. You buy yourself a flat rate for deliveries, and depending on the package you buy, you can really save you a lot of money if you're a regular shopper with us, and customers really see the value in coming back to us and shopping and saving a lot of money compared to the delivery fees, versus us obviously having a great way to communicate and interact with you on a regular basis. Now, what happens next? You build your basket, you buy all your groceries, you click the final button, and then everything behind the scenes starts working. We have 3 channels mainly to fulfill customer orders. Firstly, and the majority of our volume comes out of our bricks and mortar stores. By now, 440 of those dotted around the country. As I said before, these are the ones which give us a really great coverage to pretty much every single postcode in the UK. They ship still a fair amount of volume every single day out of each of these stores. Now, some are smaller, some are larger. You can imagine how stores look. But it's still the majority of our volume fulfilled, manually picked in store. Great flexibility, great coverage, great productivity, a brilliant every single day operation which we're running to fulfill all 3 temperature zones for our grocery. But I mentioned before, in London, we had so much demand. It's obviously such a big city that we needed to build dedicated dark stores, larger buildings which were filled entirely to online, exclusively to online customers. They do obviously much more volume per day, and there's 6 of them. So amongst those 6, they're already covering a fair amount of our volume. But it is pretty much London and southeast of the country for high density areas, and you can imagine the land in that area is fairly expensive, and running these sheds as a dedicated buildings has its advantages. But everywhere else in the country, we very much now rely on growing what we call micro-fulfillment centers. Now, micro-fulfillment centers are something fairly new over the last 3-4 years. They are pieces of automation which are put into the back of a store. You chop a bit of a store off. You can put this automation there. You could put it in a car park, for example, but you have great benefits of joining it together with the store. And that, again, is currently standing at 9. They are, for us, a great way to utilize our existing stores network, but also bring the next degree of capacity and efficiency to that. Let's talk about those in a little moment, but first of all, a quick look at our manual picking in-store operation. They are very efficient, right? Because our stores are mapped and they're very well kept. we see a store not only as a great a location for great in-store experience, but we also see this as a site from which we fulfill tens of thousands of orders, tens of thousands of units in every store every single day. That requires efficiency, so we get to good pick rates. We have our own picking solution, is our own developed software behind this, which we utilize every single day. It's low cost. We managed to double the size of the operation through online because it is in the existing stores networks, because we can add it far more flexibly without great capital expenditure. You can basically add more people to it, and then your operation can grow fairly flexibly, which is a great benefit of having a very strong in-store experience and great strong efficiency in these things. We can continue to develop it, but as you can imagine, even in the bigger stores, eventually, a fair amount of products being picked out of these large stores, which then got us to thinking, how can we take some pressure off some of these stores and at the same time get to the next big leap forward in productivity? And that's where we got to micro-fulfillment centers. Now, as I said, these are automated units on the back of a store. They have obviously better productivities because they're automated. They have better accuracy because you have got more control over your inventory, right? This is not shared with an in-store customer. It really is inside the automation, and because of that, you have 100% control over what goes in and what comes out. You can control many more, in grocery particularly, over code life. A great benefit around quality for the customer here. It gives more capacity. These are, smallish sites, but they can still, because of their high efficiency, the high productivity, not only get you, a better cost structure, but also enables more growth of the online business as we go forward. But because it sits together with the store, you've got great synergies between the automation and the store. And that is across all facilities. It's about shared inventory. The deliveries are already coming. Everything is already there. For us, this is a great way to grow our online business going forward. And I already mentioned Whoosh. Whoosh is an immediacy delivery for us, a very exciting proposition, because having a larger basket tendency, next day, perhaps same day delivery, but scheduled, you're at home or you're picking up, is one thing. But what about the other missions? What about, a small top-up shop? What about food for tonight? What about inspiration of what you're going to eat for dinner tonight? And these are picked in our convenience stores, of which we have got many around the country. So for us, it was fairly easy to roll this out to a greater scale, but at first we had to get our head around how to shrink from a very large store, which tens of thousands of units a day, into a much smaller store with smaller aisles, smaller shelves. Right? There's a lot of questions about stock holding and about availability, about the range you offer in this, and consistently be quick. 60 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. What makes a really compelling story for an immediacy mission is to get it right every single time. So we started this journey about 3 years ago in one store, then in 2 stores, and in 5 stores. We're now in 1,400 stores plus, growing, and offer an immediacy delivery to our customers whenever they choose this. As I said before, it's on the same app. You can select a mission for now. It's being picked by our staff in store. You can see on the picture, gets packed into a brown bag. It gets handed to a third-party courier and then delivered, usually on a bike, moped, to the place of your choosing. Very interesting, very convenient. But let's talk a bit about the final mile, of course, in the last 5 minutes. There's many different ways we offer collection. Integrated, meaning directly integrated into the store, next to the store. It could be a pod in the car park. It could be a pod at a different location. It can be collected from a location. Sometimes we just simply park a van up from which you can collect. We also have got some lockers. There is no right or wrong. It depends on what suits for your specific problem. And we believe having many collection locations around the country makes it very, very convenient for you as a customer to pick whenever you want it, wherever you want it, up for your weekly shop. But also, as I said, we are a company, we are a country which very much relies on delivery. A lot of our volume gets delivered. Because of that, we've got a fairly sizable fleet on the road every single day. We have 150,000 orders we need to schedule every single day. These are 3 temperature zones, refrigerated vans with full cooling system in it, do an incredible amount of trips every single day, delivered to your home, large baskets, several trays. So we have developed also, in this case, our own routing software. So not do we have our own picking solutions, our own automation, micro-fulfillment solutions, but also have we got our own routing software, which not only lets you schedule your 1-hour slot, it also lets have all the knowledge in the background to what we can actually fulfill to you at what time, 21 days out, to the hour specific, and you can pick any slot you like to your convenience. It's so critical for us to own this because we have got such a big fleet, and obviously there's big efficiencies behind that. And all of this is controlled with one device at the doorstep. We call it our smart delivery system, where the driver has everything from a van check to the delivery manifest, got a sat-nav, they can call the customer from this, can even handle refunds, all the customer interactions at the door. But it also obviously lets us track locations, which is very interesting for us because we're building our own routing speed, which feeds then back into our own routing solution, so we understand how our vans travel through our network and what our road speeds are specific to our vans at our doorstep. Great amount of data which we can use to make our customers' life even more interesting. There we go. I hope that's a bit of an insight for you about how we fulfill groceries as Tesco. So it's a never finished article, but I hope it gives you some inspiration over how we fulfill to our customers a little better every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. I do have one more question for you. Thanks for being very elaborative and very clear about what is happening in your company and the transitions that you're leading as well. One question for you. What are you most proud of in this whole transition or the recent strategy changes?
What am I most proud of? I think having a great manual network gives you the flexibility we need, but having figured out the automation in grocery is something which we don't think to that degree we've got to has happened anywhere else. We are fairly proud of that, and I think it's a great achievement to not only get world-class productivity out of it, but really great capacity out of it is something I think is quite an achievement for the team. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff.
Thank you very much, Oliver Vogt.
Thank you.